For those of you that I don't know, I'm Sue Barinholtz, and I am a Virtuoso travel advisor with Boomer Travel Group. That's Mia in the background. She doesn't like being in her little crate, but she was starting to get into trouble. What a shock for a puppy. So I'll probably be taking her out in a minute. And I am going to start talking to you about our two remaining trips for 2022. And I'm just really in a great mood. I'm really excited because yesterday we ended our trip up north where I had 9 people from Arizona come visit me. They came up here. We had such a fabulous time. I mean, it was really one of my favorite trips. I've never had people come up to my side of the world that I cherish and love so much, especially in the summertime. But I'm definitely going to be doing it again next summer. And I'm actually doing it again this fall, but it's going to be a little bit different. And I'll tell you more about what we did up here, but it was just kind of magical. So do you want to just tell us who you are and where you are calling in from? And then we'll get started on the content. So Mary.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mary Touche, and I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, but I am in a little town called Pacific Grove between Monterey and Carmel, California right now. So
nice.
It's awfully hot in Arizona. So
yeah.
Hi, everybody.
And Mary, you've signed up to go on the Clipper cruise. Yeah. So I'm really excited. Doreen.
Doreen from Phoenix, and I'm going on the Clipper.
Okay. Laura. Is it Laura Lee or Laura?
It is Laura Lee, and I'm in Sun City.
Okay. And Debbie. Callum?
I'm in. Which one?
It doesn't matter. Whichever Debbie is talking now.
I'm in Phoenix, and I would like to go on the Clippers.
Okay. And then the other Debbie.
Hi, my name's Deborah Kellum, and I live in Central Phoenix. And I have not registered for any trip yet, but I'm interested in learning about your
Sorry. Which trip?
Michigan Fall Colors.
Okay. All right. And then we've got a lady in red on an iPhone, but there's no name. So if you could unmute yourself, we can find out
about
who you are. That's okay. What is your name?
I'm Ann, and I am in Sun City, Arizona.
All right.
And I'm hoping to do the Clipper trip.
Okay, great. And Jeannie, is it Jean or Jeannie?
Jeannie.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, I might have my camera off because I'm just finishing eating lunch and then I'll turn it back on.
That's okay.
But I wanted to say I'm down in Tucson, Arizona. I can't believe all the Arizonans, first of all, on the call. That's sort of wild. And I'm just interested in learning about your trips. So,
okay.
I haven't signed up for anything yet.
All right. And the reason that you're seeing so many people from Arizona is because I lived in Arizona full-time for 25 years. I started this group, Boomer Women Travel. Well, actually, it was Wild Boomer Women back in the day in 2008 as a meetup group. And then in 2012, we started traveling, and we've been traveling for 10 years now. And so 4 years ago, I bought a house in northern Michigan, and I live here in the summertime and the fall, and I go to Phoenix in the winter. Sometimes I come back here in the spring. So when I get back to Phoenix in January, I'll start having in-person gatherings so people can get to know each other better. But what I wanted to do is—
So many of you know each other already then?
Not on this call. No. Just Doreen and I and Debbie, Debbie A, went on 1 or 2 previous trips. I don't remember which. I know Costa Rica. And then I'm going to start sharing my screen and give you now I know what happens when this does. Okay, so I am going to give you an overview Can you see this, this title screen where it says
Yes.
Virtuoso member? Okay, now I'm going to ask everybody to mute because is some background noise. And if you want to talk, just take yourself off of mute, if that would be okay. So as I said, we are now officially called the Boomer Travel Group, and Boomer Women Travel is a division of that. We provide travel for people that want to go. Virtuoso travel is for 4 and 5 star traveling. So we have for families and individuals and couples and groups, we do a variety of travel itineraries. And I just completed another honeymoon for a couple that went to Greece, and it was great. And then Boomer Women Travel, as you know, we take women on trips around the world. We just got back from, well, they just got back from being in Northern Michigan and coming up here to Charlevoix. And then we went to the Grand, we didn't stay at the Grand Hotel, but we went to the Grand Hotel and we were on Mackinac Island. And then we were in Traverse City, and they left yesterday morning, and I'm kind of crying because I missed them already. And I'm affiliated with Montecito Village Travel as well as Virtuoso. And if you haven't ever traveled with us before, traveling with girlfriends is really just different, and it's better, I think. And what we do is we just have girlfriend trips of a lifetime, things that you might not do on your own. And this is, I love this photo because it's from our first trip in 2012 when we went to Italy. And these people did not know each other before we went. We may have met, some of us may have met once or twice, and they were able to pick roommates, some of them that wanted roommates. But this is at the end of a week, when I usually do a 1 week trip if we're going to places like Europe or out of the country. And then I'll do an after trip because some people can only be gone for a week. And then some people don't want to just go for a week. So this was the goodbye of the people that were leaving after 7 days. And you'd think that these people were friends forever. And they still are, by the way, 10 years later. The thing that people like about my trips is that I do all the planning. So all you have to do is register. I'll send you an agreement, electronic agreement, and I'll send you an invoice, and I will take care of everything. I will plan the trip. I will make your airline reservations. I'll get your travel insurance. I'll get pre and post hotel rooms if you want. If you wanted to go someplace before we do something that's nearby or after, I'll make those travel arrangements for you as well. Anything that you can think of that you need while traveling, I can help you with. And people like our trips because they're laid back and they're relaxed and luxurious. So you can go at your own pace. For example, we did a tour, mushroom house tour. There's a little area in Charlevoix that has what they call mushroom houses. And one woman wanted, had some friends that or family that she hadn't seen in 25 years. So she begged off on Monday and went with her family. And then another day, somebody else didn't want to come on another tour. They were tired or they just didn't feel like seeing what we were seeing. So they got to stay back and just do what they wanted in town. So that's a little bit about us and our trips. And what this is our first trip in Italy. And here we are actually picking grapes off the vine with the workers. It was the most ideal day. And then we also had a cooking class, which was tons of fun. And the next year we took a cruise to England, France, Spain, and Portugal. And we had little t-shirts. That was when we were still wild boomer women. And that was the Crush bar. It was all frozen on the bar. And then after the after trip, some of us went to Ireland and saw the beauty of that country. We went back to Italy, northern Italy in 2014. That's us on the gondola in Venice. And yes, you know, people say that it's just a gimmick, but you know what? It's great. It was beautiful. And this man and this woman are the singers. They came on our boat, but we had 3 other boats with us. And so they just serenaded us all at the trip. In 2016, we did another cruise to Spain, Gibraltar, France, and Italy. And yes,
Am I supposed to be seeing pictures that you're talking about?
yes,
Oh,
are you not?
no, I'm
Is
not.
that- Who's saying that?
Anne.
And is anyone else saying them?
I see them.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen, so
I see
I
that.
see them.
I'm not
Okay.
sure why are you on a phone or,
No, I switched over to my computer now.
okay. It must be something on your computer then. I'm not sure why you aren't
Okay.
seeing them.
Sorry to interrupt. I just,
That's
That's fine.
okay. I
why
can
am I
send you.
not seeing this?
I can send you the slides later, the recording actually.
right.
The guys here are the new 3 tenors, and our after trip was to my favorite place in Italy, which is Sorrento, Italy, on the Amalfi Coast. And these guys are just wonderful. Next trip, we went to San Francisco and went to just a bunch of wineries and just had a fun time there. This trip to Italy was strictly the Amalfi Coast, and we stayed in Sorrento and had another amazing time. Of course, you can't have a bad time. Costa Rica, this is the trip that Debbie was on in Costa Rica. And there she is. And oh, wow, that was so much fun. We rented a couple of villas in Costa Rica and we took day trips. This was to visit waterfalls in different places, and it was really, really cool. We did Ireland in 2019, and yes, this is a castle. We stayed at Dromoland Castle. Every woman should stay in a castle at least one night. It was so luxurious. And the thing that people like about these kind of trips is that you probably would never put yourself in a castle if you knew that it was about $1,000 a night, but it's just kind of added into the price and you don't get a breakdown. So it was easier for people to do. And then once they found out, they were so happy that they got to go there. And then the after trip was Scotland. And again, another beautiful, beautiful trip. This was our guide who wore the attire of Scotland, and we went to the old course and had high tea, which was great. And then 2019 ended with a bang, and we did another Italy trip. And then there was that little break in things. And so we did Greece in May. And we went to 3 islands initially. And then we went to a 4th island as our after trip. I think this picture of the group is in Santorini. And this picture on the right is actually the day that they had that full strawberry moon that came up over the Acropolis. And we were eating dinner in a restaurant rooftop, and we were watching this. It was the most exquisite. Our guide, who had lived in Greece all of his life, said he's never seen anything like it. And of course, pictures can't help you with that. But here is the group that just left yesterday. We called it summer camp. So it was Camp Boomer Women. That's the shirts that they're wearing. This is at Lake Michigan. We watch the sunset every night. This was on the pub boat cruise where they're actually kind of on little bicycles, but not really. They don't really have to paddle, but it was just tons of fun. So those are some of the trips that we've taken. These are the 2 that are coming up. So we've got our fall color tour of Northern Michigan, October 8th through the 15th, and the Star Clipper to the Caribbean, December 3rd through the 10th. So I'll tell you a little bit. We'll start with the fall color tour. And these are the 3 places that we're staying. So after the first night, we're going to be staying at the world famous Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island, which is usually way too expensive to stay at during season. But because we will be off season and soon before they close, it's actually still very expensive, but it's more reasonable. And so you have to pay, if you don't stay at this hotel, this is the largest porch in the world, and it still is. It was where Somewhere in Time was filmed with Christopher Reeve, and they have a whole tribute to it. You now have, when I was a kid, you didn't have to, but there's so many visitors now, you have to pay $10 to sit on the porch. And this 668-foot long porch is got white, you can't really see it from this picture, but they've got white rocking chairs all from one end to the other. And you pay your $10 and you get to sit there as long as you want. And then this is the resort we're going to be staying at the Leelanau Peninsula. So let me give you a little idea of what the itinerary is like. I'm going to try to fly everyone into Pellston Airport, Pellston, Michigan. It's a very small little regional airport, but they're trying to get bigger. And they do have flights from Phoenix. And we'll have the welcome dinner there in Pellston and just stay at this little motel called the Pellston Inn, because it's very close to getting to the ferry at Mackinac Island. And then the next morning we'll get up, we'll catch an early ferry to Mackinac Island and get to the Grand Hotel, check in if we can. Sometimes these places don't let us check in until 3 or 4 unless they're ready. But what we'll do is we'll have a lunch there. We had lunch at the Gatehouse, which I thought was at Grand Hotel. Because we weren't staying there, I thought I could avoid them paying $10, but nobody happened to mention that the restaurant was actually off property. So, but it was still really nice. And on Monday, you will have optional activities on the island. So for example, well, during Sunday and Monday, you can rent a bike, and there's no cars on the island. If you've ever heard of Mackinac Island, it is magical. There are no cars allowed. There is a police car or 2 nowadays, but everything else is horse and buggy or horse or bicycle. There's no motors allowed on the island. So to get around, you either walk, you rent a bicycle, a single bicycle, a bicycle built for 2, or you order a taxi, and the taxi is a horse and buggy. So after lunch, we'll do a group horse and buggy ride around the island just to kind of familiarize yourself with what's there. And then one of the things that a couple of us did, we went to the Butterfly House, which was just so magical because they don't even keep the butterflies, sometimes you see they've got like wiring around them so the butterflies can't get out. Well, these butterflies come on top of you and they're very cool. So you can just sit there. It's very, very peaceful. But there's a lot of other things to do on the island, a lot of different activities that the hotels put on. And it's very, very special. On Monday afternoon, then we'll take the ferry back to the mainland and we'll transfer to the Boyne Mountain Resort, which is really nice. It is the most magnificent place to be in the fall. I think they have one of the best views of everything, and we'll be staying right in the middle of it. They have, because they are a ski lodge, they have the ski hills, and they have the what do you call the things that you ride to get up to the ski hills? Yeah, they have those, and you can go on that, and you can go up really high up and see the colors from that. It's just really beautiful. But there's a lot, pardon?
Ski lift.
Ski lift, thank you. There's a lot of other things to do up in northern Michigan during fall, different from summer activities. There's a very legendary area called the Tunnel of Trees. It goes on for several miles, and it's just really big trees that make a tunnel, and now they're all colored. And just think of candy colors, like the reddest red and the orangest orange and yellows, and it's just the most magnificent views everywhere you look. So we'll go to the tunnel of trees. There's also a famous restaurant called the Legs Inn that I think has been there for about 100 years, and it's at the top when you're driving through the tunnel. And then we'll go shopping in Harbor Springs and have cider and donuts at Pond Hill Farm. Those are just beautiful places to be in the fall. And then Wednesday, we're going to, after breakfast, we're going to go to Dead Man's Hill, probably one of the best overviews of color in northern Michigan, different from being at the mountain at Boyne Mountain Resort. This is just, it's hard to describe. It's just kind of a view. You go there and you go, oh, wow. And you take a lot of pictures, and, you know, you can walk around there. And then we're going to spend the day in Charlevoix the Beautiful. I think the pub cycle boat that I told you about, that I showed you that picture of, they'll be doing color tours there too. So we'll probably do a boat tour there and see all the beauty of Charlevoix. And then Thursday, we're going to leave Boyne area, and we're going to drive to, sorry about this, this thing will not go away for some reason. Thursday, we are going to drive to the Leelanau Peninsula, and there's a famous drive. It's about 80 miles. We won't be doing all of that, but we'll be coming in that way, and it's called the M22, and it's just one amazing view after the other, and it's all lake view. And we'll be visiting Glen Arbor and Fishtown, that just all of these towns are so beautiful and so charming. And the Homestead Resort is where we're going to be staying at. We'll also go to Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes, which is just iconic place. And how do I get this thing out of here? Okay, sorry about that. And then we'll do the Leland Drive. We'll go to Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes, and we'll have a farewell dinner in the Leelanau Peninsula. And then on Saturday, we will have breakfast at the hotel, and then I will transfer you back to Traverse City Airport for your flight home, which is where we end up. Does anyone have any questions on the itinerary? Okay, so let's look at the price. So some of these are double rooms, some of them are triple rooms, and they're, you know, like 2 or 3 bedroom rooms. So if you're sharing a room with 1 or 2 people, it's $29.95. And if you're going single, it's $36.95. And that includes your 7 nights in the hotel, your transfers, most of your breakfasts, a lunch and a couple of dinners, and all the tours that we talked about on the itinerary. Doesn't include your airfare, but I can get that for you. The meals or tours not listed on the itinerary that you might want to do. It doesn't include your tips and gratuities or your travel insurance. COVID testing right now is not required, but who knows? And so the balance is due September 1st. And basically I'm taking the balance as, you know, your reservation right now. Any questions on that? All right, let's move on to the Star Clipper to the Caribbean, December 3rd through 10th. And I'm assuming that we will go in the day before, and I think you can leave on the same day, but let me just give you an idea. Let me show you a quick little video.
They were the queens of the 7 seas.
Oops, hold on.
Star Clipper, Star Flyer, and Royal Clipper.
Can you see that?
Combine modern comforts and nostalgic
Trying to get it to be
elegance
big.
with romance, adventure, and exotic flair.
Up there over the very bottom right, near where it says YouTube.
Carlos, an awe-inspiring
It may not go full screen.
and so much,
Oh, if we do it on YouTube, it will. Okay, sorry.
and so much more is balsam for the soul.
5 masts with 42 sails. The majestic Royal Clipper follows in the tradition of her illustrious predecessor, the Preußen. At 134,
Now we can't see it, Sue.
the Royal
You
Clipper
can't
is
see it?
considered one of the largest sailing.
Are you showing it in a small view or a large view?
Large view.
Spacious
No,
Yeah,
you
we-
have
we
to
don't-
close your share and start a new share to show it in a large view.
Shade lovers alike. The hidden balconies on either side of the bow. are perfect
Okay.
for spotting flying fish or dolphins.
Now can you see it?
As a personal favorite,
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
I'll start it.
The legendary tall ships. 150 years ago, they were the queens of the 7 seas. Star Clipper, Star Flyer, and Royal Clipper combine modern comforts and nostalgic elegance with romance, adventure, and exotic flair.
breathtaking islands, picturesque towns and villages, hidden coves and awe-inspiring historical sites. All this and so much more is balsam for the soul.
5 masts with 42 sails.
This is the ship we're
majestic
going on, the Royal.
Clipper follows in the tradition of her illustrious predecessor, the Preußen. At 134 meters in length, the Royal Clipper is considered one of the largest sailing ships in the world.
Spacious teak decks with 3 pools, ample space for sunbathers and shade lovers alike. The hidden balconies on either side of the bow are perfect for spotting flying fish or dolphins. There's a personal favorite spot for everyone. The impressive exterior appearance of the Royal Clipper is reflected in the beautifully designed interior. The Captain Nemo Lounge with spa and fitness center and unique underwater portholes is yet another highlight.
The 2 sister ships, Star Clipper and Star Flyer, also revive the tradition of the famous tall ships from the 19th century in a new and up-to-date interpretation. These modern 150 meters 4 masters offer a maximum of 170 passengers. Exquisite cruise luxury.
Those are the smaller ones.
Whichever of these magnificent ships you choose, an unforgettable holiday experience awaits you on all Star Clipper's ships. And the moment you step on board, you are immediately welcomed into the Star Clipper's family. The captains and their officers are always on hand and happy to answer any questions. The bridge is open to the guests. If you wish, you can learn what it's like to handle a real clipper ship or help to set the sails.
Enjoy life on board how you want to. You can do everything or nothing. Make an energetic start to the day. Dare to climb the mast for a spectacular perspective of the ship, or learn the art of tying sailor knots. Kayaking, water skiing. The sports team offer many exciting water activities and help you discover the wonderful underwater world. Or you can simply enjoy the endless expanse of the ocean.
To dine on board the Star Clipper's ships is to indulge in the finest culinary delights in stylishly furnished dining rooms. With no dedicated seating arrangements or strict dress code, you can dine in an elegant and informal atmosphere and engage in interesting conversations with your fellow passengers. Star Clippers offers a wide variety of magnificent destinations, from famous landmarks, historical towns and cities, to little-known remote Caribbean islands.
Discover the culture and history of Europe. or relax on a beautiful sandy beach with palm trees swaying in the breeze. With Star Clippers, you can do both and much more. It's your choice, your holiday, your experience. Star Clippers, tall ship cruises that dreams are made of.
Okay, that's the prettiness of the Star Clipper. Let me go back to, let's see, where
So
was,
I have a question. Have you been on one before?
no,
I'm
I
just
have
curious.
not.
Hey everybody,
No.
John here. You are watching In the Loop Travel. On this trip, we are
Okay,
sailing on
so
Star Clipper. This is
we
the beautiful
are, oh my
four-masted
goodness, hold
traditional
on.
sailing ship from the cruise line Star Clippers. And I'm going to do a
I
deck
will
by
be
deck
right
walking
back.
tour in this video to show you what it's like
If I can
on
get
this
back to my
170
meeting
passenger
controls.
ship. And start right up top, right at the front of the ship. You can see it's got all the rigging out, the ropes, the sails.
It's still going
Beautiful teak
on. Let
decks.
me just see where it
I'm
is.
walking barefoot around here all the time. It's just a great way to sail. See, we're on a coastal
I
cruise
think I'm on, oh,
in
there
southern
it
France for the week.
is.
Way up front,
I apologize for that. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. I have two different tabs that, sorry about that. Okay, so let me go back to the information about the Star Clipper. Can you see that? We're back to the Star Clipper. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All righty, thank you. So this is basically where we're going to be. So Antigua is where we start from. So we'll fly into Antigua. And then from there, it's, I don't even want to try to murder some of these names. These, Terre de Haute goes with this, and Martinique is down here. Then we go to Grenada, which is in here. The Grenadines, Domingo, St. George is down here, and we end, so we come like here, and then we end in Bridgetown, Barbados. So we fly into Antigua and out of Barbados. And this particular trip is not a Boomer Women Travel trip per se, in that it's not a group of women that's going to stay together. I will be on board learning about the ship and the ports, and I've opened it up to anybody that wants to go. So far we have, I think, 4 women that are coming, and I'm not sure if anybody is looking for a roommate, but that is basically the inside of the Royal Clipper looks like this, and one of the cabins, if you have 2 people in a room, there will be 2 separate beds. And there is, when they're maxed out, they have 227 guests, and they're not maxed out yet, and they may not be. So that's the most guests that you will have there. And so it's a very small ship. I've never been on a ship this small, but it is beautiful. And as they showed you, things that you can do on board is climb the mast almost 100 feet in the air. I would love to see who's going to do that. All of the things that you have seen on the video is pretty much over there, listed here. The thing that I like about it is there's a place on the bottom of the boat that opens up, and whether when we stop or we're in port, you don't have to necessarily get off the ship. All of the water activities are included, they're free. So you can get a kayak, you can get a stand-up paddle, you can go water skiing, you can, there's more things that I'm not thinking of, but there's a whole snorkeling, that type of thing. And they just give you the equipment from the boat. Right now, the COVID vaccine requirement is that you need to have, and we may be cut off, so please log back in because we're almost done. You have to have proof of your initial vaccination, and then the second vaccination should be within the last 9 months.